finding Faith Academy guidance counselor Carrie Meredith guilty of failure to report signs of an alleged inappropriate relationship between a student and her then science teacher, Jonathan Sowers.
Our Dacian Smith has more on this story. Dacian, despite the verdict, Meredith will not be going to Metro.
That's right. The judge says while it was clear that this incident should have been reported to DHR, he doesn't think anything was done maliciously or with any intent to intentionally cover anything up. District Court Judge Zachary Moore listened to several hours of testimony about Carrie Meredith's character and the circumstances surrounding an alleged inappropriate picture brought to the attention of Meredith on February 2nd of last year. Meredith, who is a mandatory reporter, testified that a student originally said she was told about another student having pictures of Sowers on her phone. But Meredith says the student says she didn't see the pictures herself, nor did she say who told her. Meredith says she then called that student into her office along with the principal at the time to search the girl's phone. When she did, Meredith says she only saw pictures that the student saved from Sowers' social media accounts. And when she asked the girl why she saved the pictures, she said, quote, she thought Sowers was cute and had a crush on him, unquote. Meredith says she was also told about another picture of Sowers in a classroom that was sent to a third girl, but maintains they never found anything inappropriate on the phone. The principal testified that after the search, all three girls were in the office and were told by Meredith it was important not to tell anyone about this conversation so they didn't make the girl with the pictures look bad. The principal says Meredith told them if anyone asked what the conversation was about, to tell them that the meeting was about the ACT. She says Meredith then talked to the girls about the test so it wouldn't be a lie. Both Meredith and the principal testified that since no inappropriate pictures were found on the phone and none of the girls said they were inappropriate, they didn't report it to DHR, but instead called the first two girls' parents to let them know what was going on. The state recalled the director of Mobile County DHR, who said since a student brought it up, the pictures should have been reported so that one of their investigators could look into it. Ultimately, the judge agreed and found Meredith guilty. Prosecutors maintain had Meredith reported it from the beginning, none of this would have happened.
Well, that's one of the problems when people decide to take on different roles that they're not actually designated to do. So if you're a mandatory reporter, you report. Your job is not to become an investigator. It's that simple. If you report, then the actual investigators who are trained in forensic interviews and are partnered with police departments, they can do the investigations, and they're in a much better situation with much better training, and they're capable of determining the truth.
And I did just get off the phone with Meredith's lawyer, Jeff Dean, who says the defense is obviously disappointed by today's ruling and still maintains that there wasn't any reasonable explanation for Meredith needing to report those pictures since nothing inappropriate was found. He says that they do plan to appeal this case. Meanwhile, he says Meredith is also still a guidance counselor at Faith and is still considered a mandatory reporter. Now, the judge did order Meredith to pay a $500 fine plus court costs. Live in Mobile, Dacian Smith, Fox 10 News.